It's August 5th, 2019. It's 6:44 p.m. I'm roughly 100 pages away or so from finishing Infinite Jest, which means I need to read roughly 25 pages a day before the end of Friday to meet my goal. If I don't meet that goal, please never watch another video I make. I mean that sincerely. So around page 600-ish, well, actually it's page 591. I know the page I want to reference. Around there, this tension between irony and sincerity that I've noticed throughout the book seems to be building or more expanded on. Because Mario in Cadenza, whose physical deformities took 4 pages to describe, who is the middle son of James and Avril in Cadenza, for some reason he ventures to the Innit House, the halfway house for addicts on rehabilitation. And when he's there, he says, Mario's felt good both times in the inside... Mario's felt good both times in Innit's house because it's very real. People are crying and making noise and getting less unhappy. And once he heard somebody say God with a straight face and nobody looked at them or looked down or smiled in any sort of way where you could tell they were worried inside. And on the next page, it talks about his experience with people at the tennis academy. And at the tennis academy, on page 592, it says, the older Mario gets, the more confused he gets about the fact that everyone at ETA over the age of about Kent Blot finds stuff that's really real uncomfortable and they get embarrassed. It's like there's some rule that real stuff can only get mentioned if everybody rolls their eyes or laughs in a way that isn't happy. And I might be speaking out of my ass when I say this, but I think I'm right to say that Mario and the patrons of the Innit House, I guess, or the patients at the Innit House, that's better. The patients at the Innit House are less self-conscious due to the constant awareness of their negatives in life, being their addiction or their physical deformity, than those at the tennis academy. And I think this leads to those at the tennis academy having a sort of developed a tactical irony to skirt around conversations that could hurt their social standing or in any way challenge their preconceived notions of their self in a way that would lead to discomfort. And another thing that I found, which is on page 639, completely unrelated from sincerity and irony, but still worth tacking on. So to piggyback on the point I made last video about time and poor Tony and our relation to time and whether it's passive or active, it says on it refers on page 639 to broadcast television as the quote-unquote passivity, which in my mind implies that one who zones out in front of the television and watches whatever is put on in front of them without any active choice in what they're watching is no better off than poor Tony when it comes to having direction. While their passive choices might be different in the substance or the way they're making themselves passive, they're not different in the nature of inoculating themselves from the world around them and hiding from themselves what they should be doing.